Why, hello, my fellow Voice of the Rings members, and welcome back to another guide of Lord of the Rings Online. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, from Voice of the Rings. Alright, my friends, I'm going to show you 5 quick tips on targeting in Lord of the Rings Online. They're really fun little buttons that'll help you out in life, okay? So, we're going to go with the most simple thing that a lot of people don't know, alright? So, if you see an enemy, but you can't really know where it is, or you want to look for an enemy, you can't really see them, so there's a nice little button you can tap. You can tap the tab button. Yes, I said that. Tap the tab button. So if you tap that, you'll notice, see, it selected that. I didn't even move my mouse to click on that. It just selected that Nika Brika right there. All right? So that's a good way. That's my first tip, right? And if you cycle through tab, it will cycle through different targets that are in your vision. Now, they have to be in your vision, because if you look away, you see when I'm tabbing, it doesn't select. But anything in a cone in front of you will cycle to the first it will cycle to the closest target, and then you tap it again without doing anything, it'll cycle to other targets in a big area of your view. Okay, a big large area of your view. So tab is very helpful if you're looking for enemies or creatures and you can't quite find them. You can find stuff that way. All right, the next thing for helping navigate and select things, another wonderful button is delete. All right, so do not push Control-Alt-Delete, my friends. That will not be good. That is the end of the world spell. But if you want to find something, like let's say a mine. So for example, I have my scanner on. You can see that ore deposit over there. You can see it on the map, the mini map there. But what if I'm looking for one far away? Or looking for, let's say, a drop, an item on the ground, some item I'm supposed to pick up for a quest, or it's just an object that you need to pick up, right? That's not an enemy. If you tap delete, make sure your numlock's not on, but if you tap delete, do you notice how I selected that immediately? Now, if I walk around, there's probably some other object I can find on the ground, all right? So the barrel down, and by the way, the delete button is in a circle around you. You do not have to be looking in the direction of the target. See? All right, that's my tip on navigation there. The next thing, my friends, is something very simple. These might seem simple, but I hope they help you out. Another thing is, when you select stuff, an arrow will pop above them. If this does not show up, it's probably in your UI settings. If these do not show up immediately when you play the game. I think they're automatically when you play the game, though. You can see it told me where that target is and where it's moving. It's moving right now. I can see the arrow moving. Wow, look at that. That's very convenient, isn't it? Well, also, if I look away at my screen, look what happens. Do you see the arrow? What it's doing? It's showing me where it actually is moving to, right? Very interesting, huh? Now, if you look at something else that's very interesting. All right. Isn't that cool? All right. So anyway, that is tip number 3. Tip number 4, number 4, my friends, is as follows. All right. So I had to get a friend, my other character, to do this with me. All right. So here's what we have to do here, my friends. So if you have a target, as a leader, you can right-click on that, say, target. Go to Fellowship. This will not show up if you are solo. Go to Fellowship, you go to Target, and you can actually mark the target, which will make it helpful to find. Now, granted, that is a very small creature, so the icon is small. If this was an orc, the icon would be large over his head. You can also do this with your own self in a Fellowship. If you go to Fellowship, you go to add Fellowship Target Assist. This is also very handy. We'll talk about that in a second. But go to Portrait, not a Portrait, I'm sorry. Where is it? Fellowship, target marking. That's what it is under Fellowship. Same thing. Now, I don't believe you can use the same one. So if I do that, it will turn it off that one. But you can do this in a raid because I can be like, mark the Guardian, who's the tank. I can mark the damage dealer. It's easier for the healer to find him, right? On the field of battle, right? And that is a very convenient thing to do. So that is number 4. And for 5 with navigating, these are both Fellowship. By the way, I do have a guide video on Fellowships and fighting and stuff. You can check out the guide playlist. But honestly, it is just just left clicking your Fellowship member when he is in range. Now, unfortunately, my Fellowship member is not in range, so I'm going to get him in range right now. Okay, so now, if you're a healer, right, here's what's going to happen. If you need to select your teammate, you're like, where's my teammate? Where's my teammate? But you know they're in range because you can see them on the minimap, right? There's 2 ways you can click them. I'll give you a bonus for our number 5 here. You can click on their actual portrait over here of their ability. Boom, it selected him automatically, right? And there he is over there. I couldn't find him, but there he was, right? Within a certain amount of distance. You can do the same thing within the mini-map thing, and you can click on their little dot up here, and you can get them with that selecting way. So again, I hope that helps you out, my friends, with a couple commands on how to navigate and fight, quick tips. These are all good things for you to know. And then I do have other videos on combat and stuff that will have more detailed stuff about this. And if you have some other thing you'd like to know, me and Zollin here would love to help you out with that. So just leave a comment on something you want to know, and I can make another video on it. But I hope you like this, so don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. You're all awesome. Thank you for joining us here today in Middle-earth on the Lord of the Rings Online, a beautiful, wonderful game that you should definitely try out. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. Have a good one, my friends. Don't click the subscribe. Next episode's there. Hello! I wanted to add one more thing onto the video, my friends, that I totally forgot about that I wanted to add. So one more extra free tip for you here. This is something very cool. If you're having troubles fighting a mob, this works on when you're clicked on something. When you click the button X, it will always rotate the forward looking of your screen to that target. For example, if I'm walking around like this, you notice, see how it's always rotating towards that character? If I pull it away, it rotates back. That's with X. If this ever happens, it's driving you crazy and you select things, and it always rotates your camera towards it, you're like, why is it doing that? You unselect it, looks normal, you selected a character, and it rotates your camera towards them. It's just the letter X, my friend, on the keyboard. It turns it off and on. It's basically a tracking system for the camera. If you're running and fighting, it helps you track the target better. So that's what it's designed for doing. I hope that'll also help for you guys out a little bit. Just wanted to add that on. I know I'm in Rivendell now, but I realized I gotta add that to the video because you guys need to know that. It's kind of important. So I hope those tips help you out. You have a wonderful day, Middle-earth, my friends. Don't forget to click the subscribe button right here. Next episode of this guide playlist will be up there, and our main playlist, LOTRO will be right there. Once again, you guys have a wonderful day in Middle-earth, and I'll see you in the next episode of Voice of the Rings.